Let's continue the conversation just about leadership. And specifically, let's talk about the integral relationship that exists between leadership and vision. As you lead, as you move an organization forward, as you work with your church, part of leading people is taking people to where they necessarily wouldn't necessarily choose to go on their own. At the same time, that requires vision. And so let's take a look at kind of a four quadrant perspective of how vision and leadership coincide and work together. First of all, there are going to be certain people in your church, in your organization, that are going to be totally okay with your leadership and they're okay with your vision. They're going to be people that, not so into you as a leader, but I really do like the vision of the church. And you kind of flip it on the other side that there are going to be people that don't agree with the vision in the direction of where the church is going or the organization is going, but they might be okay with you as a leader. They like you relationally, they like the way that you interact with them, the way that you care for them. And then there's those that honestly, they're not okay with either, but they're in your church, they're a part of your organization. They're not okay with your vision. They don't agree with the direction that the church is moving towards in the future. And at the same time, there's not a trust factor. They don't trust, respect you as the leader to kind of guide them through that process. So the challenge is how do we make sense of these different groups of people and how we specifically how we relate to them when it comes to leadership and vision casting. Here's a good way to begin to think about it. So let me walk you through. When you have people in your church that are okay with your leadership and they're okay with your vision, you just lead. Just go. They're going to be with you, and these are the wind in your sails as a leader. And so you want these people with you. You want to keep them happy, continue to press forward. They're going to help you accomplish the mission. Then you're going to have people that, yes, it's again, they're okay with your vision, but not necessarily with your leadership. This is going to require a different level of relating to them. And so it's going to take more time to build that trust, which is only going to come through direct relational time with those type of people. Then you have the people kind of on the opposite side of that again, they're totally okay with you as a leader, not so much with the vision. They don't understand, maybe they're confused by the vision, or they just blatantly disagree with the direction that you're looking at leading the church and leading the organization. This is a great opportunity because you have relational equity with those people that you want to take time to recast the vision to them. Help them understand. Maybe there's something that just got confusing in the process and they didn't quite comprehend how these components all fit together. Remember, vision is the travel brochure of where we hope to go. Mission sets the direction. Mission is the compass, but the vision is the travel brochure. And so maybe sometimes as a leader, we just got to work at creating a clearer picture of this is where we're going and this is why we need to go there. And then there's a group, and when that's the case, it just comes back to you need to recast, repackage the vision in a way that they grab a hold of and can tangibly comprehend, and hopefully it's in a compelling way. Then you have those that don't agree with either. Again, they don't connect with you as a leader. They don't connect with you as a vision. What do you do with those people? My recommendation and how I would talk is we talk about it here in our church is those are those that you probably need to out counsel. They're taking time, they're taking energy, and honestly, they would best be served and probably best serve in a different church situation. And you can do this in a very loving way, a very gracious way, but in that process of walking with them through in truth and grace, you do need to make sure that you do share the truth side of this as well and say, hey, I want you to find a place that you're going to connect, that you feel like you can respect the leadership, that you can respect and get on board with the vision where the direction of their church is going. And I just don't sense that this is there. How can I help you find a place that honestly that we can answer that? And that'll be a win for them. It'll be a win for you in the process. Ultimately, the goal is to move people in the direction that they need to go. And so if we feel that there are people, again, that aren't okay with you as a leader, they haven't gotten to that place where they trust you in the way that you're leading, again, this is a relational component. And so we work hard at relating to them better. And in that process, the goal is to move them one direction or the other. If we relate with them, we win them over, we build trust, they move from that box in the far right corner to over to an opportunity that you now have the opportunity to actually actively lead them. And now you've won them over. They're a part of the team. Same thing true with the kind of that bottom left quadrant where they're not okay with the vision, but they totally love you. They trust you as a leader. As you recast the vision, your hope and your desire is that we can move them into that leadership box where they get on board. And now they're like, it makes sense. Now I know where I fit in the puzzle here. And let's make this happen. In both of those processes where you recast and relate, there will be individuals that honestly don't agree and don't change their minds, and you want to help move them towards that out console kind of conversation that needs to take place. Here's an interesting way to think about it. If you're kind of draw a line between all of that, kind of the moving one direction in the positive way, moving the other direction, or kind of the polar opposite, moving to the negative side of this, the line that goes right down the middle of this is what I would dub momentum. When you relate to people and recast vision and you move them towards a direction where they trust your leadership, they love the vision, and now they're fully involved and invested into where your church is moving forward, that is the thing that creates momentum for you. And so strong leadership with leadership trust, clear vision, help propel momentum forward. If you continue to allow those people to continue to be a part of the church and you don't walk with them in a way that helps move them out and find a place that they can actually serve and be served well in their connection with the local church, if you don't out counsel them in a wise manner, you end up losing momentum. They will suck that momentum away from you. And so your goal as a leader and the way that you cast a vision is you want to live in that upper quadrant where you're building momentum. And hopefully this is a helpful tool for you to just know how to better relate and cast vision to those that are in your church.